Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to the Community Board Aging Committee. Meetings. I'd like to welcome everybody to our meeting and take a roll call. My name is Mary Ellen Gibbs, the Vice Chair. Oscar Martinez, the Chair, he'll be a couple minutes late. Ramdat Singh is absent. Barbara Kale.
Here.
Rita Paklo. Georgia Santiago. Down the corner. And the next is,
So how many, do you have quorum? If Oscar comes or without?
yeah, we will, we only need one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what we need for four?
It says it on the bottom, which.
Four for four, so we ask them, myself, yeah, we'll have quorum, when Oscar gets in.
You just read the names again, please.
I'm sorry,
Can you read the names?
Read-
Can you read the names of people here? The minutes,
the people present,
right.
okay,
I'm
So
Mary
the-
Ellen,
Oscar Martinez, because he'll be here,
Ramdat is absent.
Ramdat is absent,
I'm here.
Barbara Kale present,
Barbara, what?
Barbara Kale, Kail.
Right.
Rita Paklo present. Georgia Santiago is absent. Now we're gonna move on to the approval of October 12th, 2023.
You should wait for us.
Oh, we have to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, very good. Should I wait for the chairperson's report or? We'll wait for him. Okay, I want to introduce that Bronx Community Board 8 seeks nominations to Irvin Latimer Community Service Award. This is a man who lived in the neighborhood for a long time and he was really into, volunteering and everything. So now Community Board 8 gives an award in his name. So you can send in, it's, so Friday, April 19th is the last day. You can send it in. It'd be nice to send in people who volunteer in the neighborhood, who do good work for the neighborhood. To let them know that we appreciate all their work in our community. We have a couple of flyers here,
The application is on the website.
and the application is on the website as well. And you can also, if you take this with you, you can scan it on your phone and the application comes right up. Okay, on to the guest speaker.
I'm gonna see if we can do it from here, so I don't have
Do you want me to just?
No, because you won't know when we're ready. It's enough that Andrea and I have to figure out.
Okay, so I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Margie Schustak, Director of Communications and Programming at Riverdale Senior Center.
And also Andrea Cassidy, who's the deputy director. She's the little box in the corner.
And also Andrea, I'm sorry, what was her last name?
Yeah.
Andrea Cassidy is gonna be our co-host in our presentation. Take it away, guys.
So first of all, thank you very much. We really appreciate that because, we think we're doing a lot of interesting stuff that people should know about. If you look at that first page, this was I have trouble with this word all the time. It's Advocacy Day last year, and we're going to talk some more about that when we go on a little bit further. So let's see if this works. Okay. So this is kind of our philosophic approach, which is that RSS is here however you need us. So we have the center. We have a very strong online program. We probably do about 60 to 70 online classes and events. And a lot of what we're doing is hybrid. So people are in the center and they're also at home listening to whatever our events are. And we're using this owl. So that's one of the things that we use a lot. And we're in the community, and Andrea's going to talk some more about that. We have a very active program out in the community. So we see ourselves, the philosophical approach is, however you want us, we're there for you. And Andrea, you're gonna talk about what you do?
You want to take it from here? Well, I thought we certainly, so I'm very happy to see everybody. I'm sorry I am homesick. I'm taking my own advice that I give to everybody. Don't come in sick. So I apologize for not being there, but I can see all of you in our wonderful workshop room. We certainly do things online, which is actually, since COVID, many of our programs are online and is becoming much more popular and maybe a preferred way for people to take program is online. We're certainly working in the community, as Margie has said, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And within our center. So it's meeting people where they are, basically, is what our philosophy is. And Margie, you can move on if you want to. We didn't practice this, Marge, so we're just going to get the next screen. So our mission, excuse me, is to really help people, older adults, stay well. I consider myself an older adult. And we help them to stay well. We look at wellness as a holistic approach to wellness, where wellness is social, it's physical, it's mental, it's all the aspects of the spectrum is wellness. And we try to create a space at our center and what we do where people where wellness thrives. Margie had put on here, we touch the lives of over 4,000 people per year with over 2,000 activities and events and services. And I think that's pretty impressive. We're going to move on to the next slide so we can talk a little bit. Oh, you see these great pictures of all of our, some of our members and the person with the RSS sweatshirt. We'll talk a little bit about that later when we talk about our walk and shop events. Margie?
Yeah, I just want to put a bold on that slide because I think it's really important. New York City 65 plus, that includes me, population grew 36% in the past decade, but services for older New Yorkers have not kept pace at all. So if anything, percentage-wise, we're probably losing the battle in terms of support.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Marge. So what do? We have a great kitchen staff. We serve, as many of you know, we serve a great lunch daily. We focus on a plant-based approach and a whole foods approach. We have a wonderful cooking club that's led by a registered dietitian and our own staff who promote plant-based eating. There's a lot of, I shouldn't say plant-based eating, I should say plant-centered eating, because we don't hate meat. But there's a lot of research around how the increase of fruits and vegetables can improve health. So we're right on the bandwagon there with that message. Our trips are great. It's a great social event for people. We have a wonderful trip committee that suggests where to go and what to do. Museums, parks, restaurants. More than trips, it's a time for friends to get together and socialize. And that's a really great, important thing that we do. Some of you may know about our intergenerational programs. Most of you living in the neighborhood know of Horace Mann. We've had this relationship or partnership with Horace Mann for many years, where the students come to the center to be with our members or any community older adult, and they work together, planning programs, taking part in programs together. It's a great way. We've done this for so many years, not only with Horace Mann, but with Kinneret School, which is right next to us. It really breaks down barriers and helps to dispel some of the myths each generation has of each other. I know Margie and Barbara are planning a tea party very soon with our members and the Horace Mann students. So it's a fabulous program, and I know that the adults and the students have a lot of fun. In fact, when the students come to take part in our programs, they're astounded at the stamina that they perceive that older adults can exercise, but our older adults can exercise way over them. So it's been an eye opener for, I think, mostly for the young people. Margie knows a lot about our Solar Ages program. This is so important. If you over 50%, close to 50% of women 75 years of age or older live alone. Solo Agers is a peer support group to help people who live alone with little to no supports, support each other in terms of how to eat alone, how to deal with loneliness, how to travel alone. So any topic that has to do with aging as an independent person, the Solo Agers program does that. You see the picture of our wonderful technology specialist, Tabitha Rosa there. What would we do without Tabitha? As we all know, technology is changing day to day. Tabitha deals with soup to nuts, from simple to complex. She even helps the staff because technology, I can't keep up with the technology. So Tabitha does provide a great support for anybody. And that's an important thing to know, because I think we fought hard to really promote technology. And Marg is going to talk a little bit about our Tech Expo that's coming up very shortly. So let's go on to some of our services that we provide, Marge. And you know what, if anybody has any questions while I'm talking, that's fine. Or if we prefer to go through this and then talk later, that's okay too. So we've for years, almost every older adult center has a social worker. We have a wonderful social worker. Her name is Gigi Estevez. Gigi is available for you just to come in and sit and talk, or she can help people with all kinds of benefits that older adults are entitled to: rent support, food support, how to get into Access-a-Ride, what referrals do people need to legal advice or other important professional advice. I think she's busy 8 hours a day when she comes here. So it's a really important service. And I think if people had to pay for this service, they'd pay an awful lot. And as I said, almost all older adult centers have this wonderful service. We have access to a great Medicare specialist, which is really great, or especially around enrollment time. Medicare is very complicated, and she can help by appointment. She comes here to meet with people, and she's been fabulous in helping other people get through this Medicare maze. Go ahead, Marge. Go ahead. You want to add? Mm-hmm.
I just want to add something about her, because she's been extremely helpful during the course of a year. If you have an issue with your Medicare and something's like not getting paid that it should be, or suddenly your plan is changing or whatever, she has been amazing. I can speak for my personal, because she has helped me in terms of my sort of journey through Medicare.
Yeah.
Definitely like an important resource. It's independent of us. It's not, RSS giving advice. So it's definitely something that anyone here can avail themselves of.
Exactly. And especially people new to Medicare, and also just wondering what to do during enrollment. Should I get another plan? So she's like a staff member, but she's not. So we do have a geriatric mental health initiative. It's a program that is a mental and emotional health support for older adults. We've had it for many years, so people can avail themselves of individual counseling through this program. Anybody that's dealing with anxiety or may feel they're a little sad or depressed, there's an LCSW now that can meet with individuals and help them through that process. A part of our geriatric mental health initiative are groups, peer support groups. We currently run a caregivers group for caregivers of people who are living with parents with dementia or other sorts of dementias. We have a women's group that's really, really popular. And then we build groups as needed. So this is not the only groups that have been, these are the current groups, but based on what the needs are coming up, there'll be definitely more groups that are being formed, and also in the community, which I'll talk a little bit more about our community program. Transport. Go ahead, Marge. You want to interrupt again?
Thanks. I just sure that everyone gets introduced to Elizabeth Alvarado. who is now our Director of Clinical Services. So a lot of those things that we're talking about right now, including some things related to nursing, because we do have a nurse part-time on staff. All of that will be under Elizabeth, but she just started like, 2 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, yeah, we had, yeah, we're really.
Our vision. So that seems a little-
We're really happy to have Elizabeth. I'm being very, being very honest that we haven't been able to provide individual counseling for a while because Elizabeth wasn't here, but now we can. And this is sort of a new idea to have a director of clinical services because we feel that wellness is such an important issue and has always been a part of what we do. So we're looking to Liz really to grow that. I happen to be a nurse, so I'm very, very happy that Liz is on board to help us grow our health initiatives and our mental and physical health initiatives. What would we do without transportation? Everybody knows Riverdale is a bear to navigate this transportation program. You see our bus there. You'll see it going out throughout the neighborhood, driven by our wonderful driver, Rich, and coordinated by Yvonne Velasquez Rosa, who has 20,000 hats. But Yvonne is really on top of this, where she's trying to provide as much transportation for our members as she can. This is basically, though, for people who might have some frailty or disability that can't get to us or other places without transportation. It also is a way to get people to wonderful events and trips. We just had a great trip to the casino, not through this bus, but we did have a wonderful trip to a casino just a while ago. Scams prevention is really important to us. We did have a partnership with it was called Fraud Fighters, I think, Marge, yeah. But it was, go ahead.
So we have a relationship with Federal Trade Commission, related to scams. So,
yeah.
they don't
Yeah,
scam.
yeah, it was called, I think it was Fraud Fighters Program through the Federal Trade Commission. Scams are getting very sophisticated, and very smart people are being taken advantage of through these scams. With AI coming, we're not sure what's going to happen. So this is really sort of a core to what we do every year when we're providing programming is scams. Did you want to say anything more, Marge, about that?
No, I'm gonna go on to the next one.
Uh-huh.
So.
So
No, she doesn't want to. Okay.
is Gigi here? That's Gigi.
I just talked to that. But she's busy helping someone right now. So
That's our social worker right there. Hi, Gigi.
before we go to the adult day, that will also, because we didn't mention it, that will also be under the direction of the Director of Clinical Services, Lizzie.
Yeah. So our clinical program is we look at it in a multidisciplinary approach where it involves different disciplines. It's health, nursing, social work, even some program people getting together to really, if there's an issue that any of our members has, that group gets together on a monthly basis to figure out an intervention or a plan that might work, that might help that individual. So our clinical, again, going back to the importance of this clinical director and having this focus on health is so very important. Everybody knows about our wonderful Adult Day program, ADAPT. It is a one of a kind. It certainly is a great respite for the caregivers who care for their parents. It's also a place where people come to feel safe, people who are suffering with dementia or any form of memory loss can come to feel safe, get some cognitive stimulation, socialize, have a great lunch. We are on pause a little bit right now in our enrollment because we are full, but hopefully we'll be able to accept folks very shortly. And I can't see in this video, in this picture right now, but I think Fufu is there. Fufu was our therapy dog, and Fufu unfortunately had developed a very serious illness and died just recently. But Fufu was a great comfort to so many of our members as well as staff. Fufu was actually he was a staff member.
Right, and so we have had a lot of people, ask about having a pet therapy dog come in on a visiting basis. So if anyone knows of a good pet therapy dog that's local, let us know, because we would be really interested in it. The other two
Yeah.
things I point out on this, one is this sort of philosophical approach that people who come to the program are seen as individuals and not as a diagnosis. I mean, so it's not that you like have Alzheimer's, it's like, who are you as a person? And that has really been, sort of a founding philosophy. And then the other one is we are the only program in the Bronx that are supervised by the New York City Department of Aging. And that's its good points and it's rough points because they're always. But it does.
Well, it keeps us on our toes.
That's what I mean. That the program is very well supervised by the city. So
How
Yeah,
many people are enrolled?
yeah. We have
right-
seven
Well,
current.
Well, right now, per Elizabeth, you have somebody coming in. We have 12 people technically enrolled in the
Yeah.
program. Like we said, we're sort of on a pause right now because we are full. And some of
Yeah.
that, the idea that we see people as individuals and we want to make sure people get the right one.
Right, yeah, yeah, it is there, we do have a ratio and about 7 people attend per day, but total people are taking advantage of this, and we really will be growing that again, because there's a tremendous need for this.
Can I
As Margie said, I'm sorry, Marge, go ahead.
You finish and then I just want to.
Oh, yeah, as Margie said, this is a really difficult disease for families and for people, and recognize that almost, it affects almost every one of us. Almost every one of us knows of an individual who may be suffering from this kind of a memory loss or some kind of a dementia. And to really treat that person holistically as an individual, not as, oh, you're a person with dementia, is very, very important. There's a tremendous amount of respect that the staff show to each other and with the participants in the program. Go ahead, Marge.
I just wanted to point out too, it is a bilingual program. It is, which has really been a change in, I would say, the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Is open to people who speak English and people who speak Spanish, which has been really important. I'm going to go on to the next slide.
Yeah, and that is so, that bilingual, speaking of bilingual approach. So our community health program is actually, we're providing services within the Marble Hill and Kingsbridge communities. This is relatively new to us to be able to get out and provide chronic disease management and nutrition education to a group of people who haven't really been able to take advantage of these kinds of services because of the lack of services in these areas. So what you see in front of you is the nurse providing blood pressure monitoring, which is honestly people, this is extremely valuable for doctors to be able to track individuals' blood pressure over time. So the nurse provides a little card for people to bring to their doctors. All these services are provided in Spanish and in English.
And everything is the other thing.
What?
Everything is free that we've talked about so far. They're all free services.
Oh yeah, well, it's free to the public. We work pretty hard to get funding for these kinds of things, but it's definitely free to the public, and we're very fortunate that we could do this. You'll see in the nurses it looks like a garden setting. That's our nurse Jennifer presenting in the KHCC garden. So when Margie talks about we meet people where they are, we work in gardens too. She's there providing information. This is probably on either diabetes or hypertension. We discovered when we were in the community that diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol were the 3 most presented chronic illnesses that people were concerned about. The 4th is mental health. which we're hoping to expand this very, very shortly into some mental health services, expand our services in the community. We provide it on site, and we're also expanding our mental health services into the community. When I talk about the community, I'll show you when we get into our partners, you'll see who we're working with. There's also a great picture here of in front of Stop and Shop. We have Stop and Shop has been a great partner helping us to provide nutrition education to augment our nutrition program. This is a walk and shop event where people gather, they take a walk to shop, and Stop and Shop gives coupons out. They purchase food and are given a nutrition lesson while they're there on how to purchase food on a budget, or what labels mean, or what is the best food to buy at this particular time in the year. So that's a lot of fun. And the people who take advantage of that, we have our partners with KHCC here, which is Kingsbridge Heights Community Center, Marble Hill Older Adult Center, but also RSS. We've had people from our own center take advantage of these great walk and shop events.
I'm gonna go on to this.
So here are our partners. We love partnerships. We love partnerships where we need partnerships so that we can provide our services that we're so anxious to provide. And we also have partnerships that give us services. So we provide to Kingsbridge Heights Community Center, we provide services to St. Stephen's United Methodist Adult Center and the Shervier Apartments. Great groups of people, really hungry for information, and very well attended by participants and in demand. I can't thank enough these partners who give us things to rote or virtual programming. Margie's working on partnerships with DeRote that is growing. New York Presbyterian, VNS, Montefiore, all those areas give us health. They augment our health program by providing health information and health classes, not only at the center, but also in the community. And we can't forget MJHS, who has been, a great partner as of late, helping us to give information out about palliative care, legacy planning, hospice. What is hospice? What is palliative care? Helping with legacy planning. So growing these partnerships is we can't do it alone, and we would never be able to do any of the services alone without all of these partnerships, whether they're partnerships that we can utilize their space for and get the message out. We can also talk about what great programming we and other OACs offer, but also partnerships that help augment what we already do, because it really helps when we're thinking about a holistic program.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next slide.
So Margie's going to talk now about advocacy, so we can get some great information about advocacy. Go ahead, Marge.
Part of what we do is to advocate for the needs of older adults. So there's a couple of ways we do that. We do have a social action committee here. That social action committee focuses mainly on community issues. So they're concerned about safety, they were very helpful in getting a light at the corner here because somebody was killed trying to cross. So they really spend their time on that. We obviously advocate when we meet with elected officials because they love to come here and glad hand.
During lunch.
We have a whole bunch of criteria. I've got to send all kinds of notes every time an elected official comes to DIFTA. But the other thing that is important right now is funding for support for aging, because right now we are in the budget dance for next year. And so there are a few things that have gone on and will go on. There was a rally last week. It happened during the earthquake. It was led by our Bronx Borough President, Valerie Gibson. And it really had to do with funding for older adult centers and issues and support. There is going to be another advocacy day. I said it right that time, okay. On May 16th at City Hall. It's sponsored by an organization. I don't know if you guys know of it. You may. It's called Live on New York. Okay, so Live on New York, for anyone who's interested in aging, I used to work there. Is a really important organization, and Andrea can jump in on that also. They really focus in on supporting older adult centers and other older adults. And I think somebody from River Spring is on their board.
Oh, wow, okay.
So they focus in, they also offer services. They have social services that they offer, particularly in terms of benefits. But one of the things they spend a lot of time on is advocating and helping us all advocate on the budget. So they are sponsoring an advocacy day on May 16th at City Hall. We encourage all of you to join us, because we will be going over there. That focus is really on the city council and funding for older adult issues and programs. So the dance is happening now in terms of funding. So now,
yes, to add to Live On, and we really rely on them to guide us and what to advocate for. There may be something that we're not aware of, so they really present these advocacy issues in front of us on a regular basis. So they're a very important umbrella agency for older adult centers.
they were amazing during the pandemic. They really kind of
Yes.
worked together. So if you don't have their URL, or because there's a little confusion, there's two Live on New Yorks. One is donating organs, so it's a little, it can get a little bit confusing. But I work a little bit. No, we don't. We are about older adults, but we don't take your organs. So anyone who's like interested in learning more about it, just let me know and we can send you more information. And if you're interested in joining us on May 16th, we would love that.
What time is it?
16.
May 16th, I think we have to be there at 11 a.m. It's either 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. So obviously we would be leaving like an hour before.
Yeah, and we'll go down by bus, most likely, we hope. Talking about transportation, try and use the RSS bus and or taxis.
Yeah, I think we're using taxis because I've been told already that we don't have access.
We can't use our bus.
Also, we partner very often with the Riverdale Y Senior Center. So for instance, for the Bronx Rally, we went together. So wherever we can, we try and partner. So we might bus with them. Depends on how many people we have. So hopefully we'll have everyone in this room. I just want to talk a little bit about, because I realized in doing this, we did not do any slide about our online program. So let me just talk about that for a couple of minutes. As I said, it is a hybrid program. It started during the pandemic. 2 weeks after the senior centers were shut down, we had almost a full-blown program of online activities that we were able to offer. So we have online classes and everything from exercise. We have presentations by museums like the Museum of the City of New York. The New York Historical Society comes and does presentations online for us. We have an art class that has over 70 people come online every week to the art class from all over the city. So one of the things we're noticing with the online programs is we are not in a way restricted to just people in the Bronx, but people all over the city have access to our program. So last year we had a tech expo that was incredibly widely attended, because one of the things that we are very committed to, and I think it does make our older adult center maybe a little bit different than some of the others in the area, is this idea of the importance of technology support for older adults. Because what we saw during the pandemic was older adults couldn't get food because they couldn't get, everything had turned online. So if they needed to get food, they didn't have the resources to go online. So they came to us and we helped them. But it was really a moment in time where we saw that there was just this huge divide, and everything now, so much is available online, whether it's social services support or entertainment or knowledge or the way that you can connect with other people in your family. So we are having another tech expo. So anything you guys can do to help me get the word out, we would love. What's different about it this time is last time it was a lot of presentations and there were booths that people could see. This time we're trying to be really interactive so that we are going to educate people. We're going to have 101 tech help. We're going to have Senior Planet is coming. Senior Planet's affiliated with the ARP. Some of you may have heard of it. They're going to come here and do tech support and also do presentations for us. So we will have 101 stuff, but we're also gonna talk about how to build a website, how to create flyers, how to do 3D printing, how to do smart home technology. So we're gonna have sort of a lot of interaction. So we'll do a presentation and then people will hands-on be able to do some of these things, at least learn how to do a little bit some of these things. So it is Friday, May 3rd and Saturday, May 4th. We're open at 10. We'll be open till 3:30. There will be food here, obviously, because there's always food here. But not near the equipment. That's my only, but not near the equipment. There will not be food. So we're really excited about this because it really is a huge commitment that we have made over the last couple of years to have staff devoted to technology support for older adults and to do these kinds of education. It's really important to us. So anything you can do to help us. This is just a general, like, there's all these ways to engage with RSS. You can become a member, you can attend a class, you can tell family members. So that's just a whole bunch of ways that you can get involved. And we can certainly send this presentation, electronically, because those are all links. And then the last thing is, which is, I gotta see if I can move this. It is our 50th anniversary, so in case you didn't know that. So we have a bunch of free events this year. We are doing monthly presentations on the history of the Bronx by the Bronx Historical Society and the Spike Dival Historical Society is going to come in May and do a presentation for us. We're going to have a cookbook, which is kind of cool. It's a collection of recipes, obviously, but also stories, poems, and art about cooking, because we have a very active sort of cooking and nutrition. As Andrea talked about how important nutrition is. So we have a very active RSS cooking club. The Tech Expo is free. We will be launching a financial mastery course for older adults because we think that financial issues are a big issue for older adults that doesn't really get addressed. And so we have someone who is certified, all that kind of stuff, and he's going to be doing an entire curriculum starting in the summer. And then on September 22nd, we are going to have a huge community party here, free, and it'll be sort of an all-day celebration of our 50th anniversary. And if you're interested, we also have a fundraising gala, and that gala is going to be on June 18th at the Van Cortlandt Lake House. So, and then I realized I didn't talk to you that we have a botanical therapist, as we were doing this, I said, oh, here's a list of things I forgot to include, but,
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think I'll stop sharing. Andy's huge on the
She's
screen.
muted.
You're muted.
You muted yourself, but I can't unmute you.
I was coughing, so I muted myself. I apologize. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for coming.
Hold on.
Any questions?
Is Farah there by any chance?
I am. Can you
Oh, yeah. Farah, thanks for the tickets for the Botanical Gardens. We have some wonderful pictures. So they had a great time.
I sent your son, I'll send her more.
Thank you very much. We're happy that the seniors here got to enjoy it. So
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks. I didn't realize, I just wanted to make sure I saw you. I wasn't sure if I heard your name before. Good to see
yeah,
you.
thank you so much. It was our pleasure. So
So I would like to formally thank everyone for coming. Thank you for your patience. The MCA was great. There was a track fire in 86th and 86th Street. The 10 bus didn't come, so I walked to 31st.
Oh, my God.
oh boy.
Enough about short.
Short.
Enough about me. Thank you guys for coming all this way in this weather. This is kind of, and I'm starting the chairperson, but this is kind of my vision for the committee as far as being involved and exposing not only the committee, but to the community to resources, a ton of things in that presentation that many of us weren't privy to. And I would like to just spread information and make sure that we're involved in certain things. So this is more of this kind of activity and these kind of meetings to come. But again, I would like to thank all of you, and we're going to get started by just voting on the minutes, because that's some of the older business. And have you guys gotten a chance to see it?
Yes.
No?
I know
Yes?
that will be.
No, just the committee members.
Committee members.
Yeah.
So have the committee members seen the minutes? If not, I can pass them around. These are from October, December, and January. So if there are no objections, I would like to motion to vote to approve these minutes. October, December, and January. My gavel.
Make sure that people sign, and see all I have to sign on here. If you didn't sign anything, you did. I mean,
Well, some people s-
Yeah, they signed on the sign.
somebody should hit me after the last, I should find out.
Yes.
No, we're on the,
Just I don't know.
And here's the opinion from anyone. Okay, so. New business is something that I'm not completely.
we have to vote on the minutes.
Let me just do it.
We're gonna vote separately, right?
I
No,
want
they
to
both-
just lumber.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Any objections,
Any objections to the minutes? Any abstentions? All approved?
Aye.
Well, unanimously approved.
somebody's watching. Okay, so the only new business that I have, aside from all of this, is the discussion of the budget priorities. I am not, entirely privy to exactly what a committee would like or to include in the budget, so I would like to be educated, because, and if you can speak to it, what the committee has requested before, but I am not privy to it, so I just wanted to, one, open up the discussion, and then two, if there's any kind of guidance from members of the committee that have been here for a while, just let me know what priorities or anything that you would like to include in the budget.
Well, I just want to also mention that the priorities for FY 25 were listed for everyone. I could print up what your priorities were from the past that you can look at and see if you want to continue with those or add new ones or make new ones, but I could send that immediately.
Yeah,
Because-
because we're coming up on time.
Yes,
19th, right?
yes. So I will do that tomorrow, and send it to the whole committee.
Yes, the correspondence will just be an email form, and, but if there's anything that just as outstanding or anyone would like to add or take a look at, feel free, that this is the time. If not, then we're likely just going to go with what was on the priority list last year.
Did you want to say something?
Well, I'm David Gelman. I chair the budget committee. I'm here to help shepherd the process. I will have no opinions on your choices. I would encourage you, yes, to look at the last 2 or 3 years worth to see if there are any issues related to the aging community within the community district, not just RSS. However, to think about things that, are sort of like the Bobby Kennedy approach, some people look at things as they are and ask, why I dream of things that never were, and ask, why not? Why not? Why not have such and such a funding of a program or a facility? I think in the past, a van was included in one of the center's desires, or a program for food for either lunches on site or home delivery or whatever. And I'm not trying to push you into any direction, but I encourage you to be open-minded about it. If you think that the community needs such and such a program or such a capability or facility, I encourage you to request it. you know, I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. And as you were saying that, there is a budget process, because you are heavily city funded, but this is a little bit different. But please do look at what you get from Farah very quickly and get back, to Oscar immediately, because we need them, early next week.
So David, so some of the, we can ask like the facilities, like, the example, Riverdale Senior Center, Riverdale Y Senior Center, what they might want on their need that we can put in for. Or-
It's generally easier to get input from the senior centers.
That's what I'm saying.
But, you know, maybe you think, you know, for example, like the RAIN program, I don't think it's really center focused. I think it's borough-wide or at least district-wide. So it can be
In our community board 8, though, has to be,
community district.
right,
Yeah, basically, I mean,
because rain is in like Norton Park.
I know,
Yeah.
but like I said, I was trying to give it as an example
Yeah.
because it's not, I don't believe it's focused or based in each
Right.
senior center.
No.
So if there are things that you'd like to see across the district, you don't have to limit yourself to the Riverdale Y, the Van Cortlandt one, the Riverdale senior services, et cetera.
Okay, anywhere where
Right.
seniors need services,
I'm sorry.
anywhere seniors need services
Um,
in our community board.
services or facilities or, you know, equipment.
Acquisition.
Mhm.
Yes, you can acquire things, you could use as a basis of, I mean, to get, more computers or provide, home, internet capability for certain seniors or to have an at-home program for seniors. And again, I am not advocating at all.
No, no,
I'm
you just
I'm
give us
trying
examples,
to,
It's helpful,
yeah, just trying to brainstorm to,
because we would sit there and at least go
kick
like.
your
what do we
ideas
put?
No, that's.
but don't limit yourself to
Because
last
we're both
year's.
new with chair, so it's helpful.
Well, I
Okay.
do want to mention last year's, it's mostly expense requests that you had from the Department of the Aging. You had senior center program requests for older adult center funding, increased multicultural, multilingual outreach and programming, ensure access to mental health services, meet technology needs, meet increased costs for all service delivery requirements. So that was the number one expense request on our budget priorities last year.
That was one?
Yeah, that was number one.
No, that was one request.
No, I have the rest. Yeah.
I was gonna
It
say,
sounded
that-
like seven.
is that like logged into one
There's
person?
two others. You had, provide additional senior center staffing. And it says older adult center transportation, enable centers to operate their own bus and van. Transportation for participation in the nutrition, health and social programs, day trips. So that was one. Doesn't specifically say for which, you know, senior center. Other center requests, food programs. Food insecurity has become increased within our community. There's increased need for congregate food programs, additional food pantries, plus meals for individuals who are temporarily homebound. I do know that Riverdale Neighborhood House does a food pantry that is very busy all the time. I do suggest, like you
More
said,
seniors?
to reach out to Riverdale Neighborhood House, RSS,
Yes, okay.
Riverdale Y, and ask if they have a top priority budget need that we can consider.
Yeah, so I have a question about the budget, specific to you. So,
Just remember that there are budget requests.
no, that's.
I have no budget whatsoever.
You have the magic
And
wand, right?
actually, Community Board 8 has no budget. But we do make requests,
To the city.
in your case, largely to DIFTA, but not necessarily.
Okay, so that was the basis of my question, like,
Okay.
how does this work as far as, you make the budget request and then what happens afterwards? Let's say something is approved.
Well, you know, to be honest with you,
That's
more
fine.
often than not, the response from the agencies is, interesting idea, we'll try to see if we can accommodate it in the budget. or interesting idea, go talk to your council member.
Right.
It's
Okay.
usually
We
We
like
have to
the
take care
idea,
of our
but we
fee,
don't
because I
have
am
the
one now.
funds to address.
4 times out of 5, you'll get
Yeah.
one of those answers.
So we're in essence advocating or being a liaison for the community.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's strictly the responsibility
Yes.
of the community board is to advocate on behalf of our residents.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just unsure of like the actual process, the logistics of it. Okay, that makes sense.
And one thing, please keep in mind, and we talked about this at exec, that it is pretty clear from the borough president's office. Because her budget statement had 10 capital requests per community district and 5 expense requests. Which sort of implies that each committee should have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Not 10 or 12, because we have to do this for all the committees, transportation, parks and sanitation, et cetera, et cetera. So just keep that in mind. But don't throw out the more than 3 or 4. Because I believe, and we'll talk about this in about a month or so. I believe that the ones that aren't in your top 1 or 2 or 3 could be the basis of your discussions in September. When you come back and with the committee and think about what would we like to do with aging in the district for September through June. And maybe, you know, how we could get an agency person to come to one of our meetings to discuss number 7 or what have you.
Okay,
Okay.
It makes so much more sense now.
thank you. I was very, but now.
Right,
I will send you the last couple of years, but please know on our website, on the front page is the register of our budget requests
Oh,
for every committee, for the whole board. So you have the FY 25 register, and then you also have the FY 25 agency responses, which tells you their
what they
response.
requested. Okay, very
So
good.
it's right on the first page of the CBA homepage.
That's amazing.
And that can be quite, that, the latter part can be very useful, because you can look and see that DIPTA said, you know, talk to your council member, talk to your council member, talk to your council member. Or they said, you know, it's been discussed heavily in the Bronx, and we'll try to accommodate. And that could affect your thinking, how you want to proceed with these requests.
Pretty good at finding stuff,
Thank
so, okay. that makes
you,
sense.
David.
Sure. Okay,
You wanna say something,
I
Sharon?
was just gonna say, if RSS has any huge or items that they would like to let the committee know about.
Are you the contact?
It would be, Andrea and I would be the contact,
Angie?
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
we have many things, we would love a bus,
Yes.
that would be
That's
huge,
right, we have, I mean, that's something we
Bus would
asked
be-
for.
right, Andrea?
Yes, we would prioritize, but we do have many things that we could ask for, definitely.
Another
I'll come here
bus
for
is a
lunch,
big
you know?
deal.
No, you should email them and get it,
Email and then,
yes,
Okay.
and get it sent.
So
I
who
mean-
are we emailing? Are we emailing?
no,
Email the committee, but you could CC the office, it's
Okay.
always
yeah, you
great.
can email
Okay,
Okay.
Marion.
great.
keep sending.
Let me ask actually about the bus. You do
Oh,
have
my
a
goodness.
van, right?
We have a van, but that van, first of all, is used very heavily for the ADAPT program,
Mhm.
because those people have
Right.
to be picked up and
Remember that.
back.
Mhm.
And it's also used for trips, but, you know, I think we all know that this is a very difficult area to navigate,
Yeah.
to walk
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
The other thing is, we have a lot of people, you know, that are further out in the community, still in Community Board 8, but further out. That I think if we could offer them van service,
Right,
we would have people coming, you know, into the center for lunch and for things like that. And for many older adults, the lunch offered at the center is like their one decent meal for the entire day. So,
Kind of their.
Like I would, yeah, I'll add to that too. We have an aging van fleet. So,
The reason why I asked is it's conceivable that you might want to talk with Riverdale and Riverdale Wine and Jazza about possibly getting one for the 3 of you, possibly.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Not in a direct way, but that might be, it would be worthwhile for you, because if you each have your own which you can do your 8 a.m. pickups and your 3 p.m. deliveries. Maybe another one for the three of you could serve other purposes. And that
Mhm.
is something that Dipton would react to more positively, or more
Sure.
immediately.
For example, the trip.
Yes.
dogs.
Right.
Mhm.
So something that you guys unify on is like just a communal. Okay,
Makes it
we have a
easier.
trip that we collaborate on, we'll go on.
It sounds like might need another van.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Clarity. Okay, so aside from that, we have, I'll just announce. Our next meeting is May 9th at the Methodist Home. And then there'll be a similar meeting just like this. And then we're also going to discuss just kind of the plan for the summer and anything that will come up as far as like activities or anything like that in particular with any of the senior centers or anything that we're looking to do in conjunction with them. That's pretty much all I have on the agenda. Is there anything, or the open forum for anyone who wants to say anything or?
First, I'm sorry.
I'd just like to say it's nice coming to a meeting outside of our office.
Yeah.
That was the point.
And this presentation was wonderful. Thank you both, Andre and Margie.
Thank you.
All the information, and we look forward to coming back. You know, and Liz, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
It was really, really nice.
That you guys, all the presentation,
I'm sorry. didn't hear what
can you email me the?
Yeah,
presentation?
absolutely. Yeah. I didn't know.
I just want to say one last thing. I want to thank you for your support. During COVID, we were very involved in food insecurity in the neighborhood, and Community Board 8 was very, very helpful to us to, to really just think about ideas of how we could improve food security in the Bronx during COVID. So I want to thank Community Board 8 and the Aging Committee as well. Thank you for having us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
That was such a wonderful presentation. I really enjoyed it. I actually, took care of, somebody. I was assigned to somebody in ADAPT, and it was so much fun. I remember, all the fun I had. I made new friends. I was invited to a wedding.
Yeah.
So it's like having a new family working with ADAPT, and, I still talk to even Wendy. We used to be the director there.
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah.
there. And it was just, it was really funny, because one of the things, I never played bridge a day in my life. And the person I was taking care of was a big bridge player. So I said to Julie, so how do you play? They go, you can't learn one day. I said, I'm a numbers head. All of a sudden, they see me sitting down playing bridge with everybody the same day.
Was the person you were with a dentist?
No,
No, okay. 'cause
I couldn't even say if they were, what they were, it's Hepalong.
No, I know, no, and the reason I'm saying is because I feel like I've seen your picture in old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting down playing bridge, and Julie goes, no, I thought you never played bridge before. I said, I told her that. I played bridge ever since from that day. Program, like the person didn't show up,
Uh-huh.
and that's why I do like singing and stuff, and the person didn't show up, and I automatically jumped in. I had her sit there, go, come on, let's do something together. And I did a program like this. Said, can you repeat that this afternoon? So it's like one big family, like you can always jump in and feel like not intimidated, like everybody, you're welcome.
We
to
were
do
down
things.
here at the time. 'cause
We were
now
down
we're
here, and
six.
this was
Now we're
over
in
here.
106, yeah.
And it was such a wonderful program. They were really one-on-one with everybody, even though there was 12 people. They were really on top of taking care of everybody, so thank you for all your services in our community.
Yeah, thank you for those good words.
And I'd possibly like to do a lunch and learn further down, just, so I can get a little more education.
The lunch is real good.
Um, Just because this is my first time in any kind of center like this.
Okay.
So I would like to be exposed to a little bit more of like kind of what you go through and what is like boots on the ground, what's actually going on.
Yeah, and
So
to
then-
meet more of the staff too, you know,
Yeah.
like our director of community engagement and some of the people that are actually working on the program. I
Yeah,
think that'd be
so
cool. We'd
I'll
love.
send out an email just so we can coordinate. our
Absolutely.
schedule,
Cool.
And then we'll go on from there, but I definitely want to get a little more involved as far as the logistics of everything.
We'd love. We'd love.
So I make a motion adjourn, you finish? Sorry? No, yeah, no.
Okay, so
We're due, so-
motion to adjourn
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
There we go.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Ready to gavel.
Thank you.
Nice
Say
meeting
gavel.
everybody.
I'm
It's
gonna
great
have-
seeing everybody. Take care.
David, thank you.
Oh, can you wait, stop touching that.
Thanks, thanks for
Wait.
coming.
I get like that too.
Now, I have to.
I didn't say anything. I get nervous and I'm
Margie,
trying to
can
keep
you put
everybody-
me down a minute? I'm trying to close
You're
the,
good.
Now I know that we just covered that.
every time I try to close it.
Not like.
No, let me, I'm trying to close the recording. I'll just end the meeting.
These are minutes.
Yeah. Goodbye, all.
Bye. She's not letting me use
You're
this.
trying to go to the end.
Here,
Thank you.
yeah,
Wait, so, well,
On
both of you,
YouTube.
okay, end meeting for all?
yeah.